Hello everyone, I hope you're enjoying our Kayak Essentials Cabin Fever workout series. If you saw this morning's pulling power video, then you'll be familiar with this setup. And I found it quite an interesting experience building it, so I thought I might share some information with you. But first I just want to say that I feel very lucky at the moment. I'm living with a roof over my head here with Kelly. I've got food in the fridge and I feel healthy. And I know that lots and lots of people don't have those advantages that I'm enjoying right now. So although I don't know when I'm going to be able to work on the water again, I do feel very fortunate, and I hope that nobody minds that we're making a few light-hearted videos along the way. Okay, let's take a look at the equipment that you're going to need to build your own pulling power machine. I did think of calling it the Concept 2 paddler, but then I got a little bit worried about copyright issues, and I'm in no position to fight a legal battle at the moment. So we'll stick with pulling power, I think. So you're going to need a boat and a paddle. I've got my trusty North Shore Atlantic and a brand new Werner player that I bought just before we were told we couldn't go kayaking anymore. I've also got a couple of old car tyres that I've used to raise the kayak, which you're going to need to do if you want to build this machine. If you've got a couple of tyres, that's great. If you haven't, then you'll need to find something else. Or you could take a couple of tyres off your neighbour's car. I mean, it's not like they're going to come round and get them, is it? So they're your basics, and you're also going to need some rope and, most importantly, some bungee. So let's take a closer look at that. So before I got the boat involved, I spent a bit of time setting up the paddle, and that turned out to be the most important bit. I knew I needed to anchor it to the fence, which was easily done with a bit of 5mm cord, and I also had enough bungee to create the necessary elastic properties that this machine requires. I had to experiment a little with finding out what was the optimum stretch and resistance, and once I got that right, I was able to add some slings which are connected to the paddle. That took a bit of organising because my brand new paddle shaft is pretty low friction, and I needed to do some fancy knots, weird variation on a clove hitch to get them to attach to the paddle shaft. Once I'd done all that, and I was confident that I could simulate my forward paddling action, then I figured out the distance away from the fence. I added the boat, and a little bit of trial and error brought me to the position that I was happy with. Once I sat in the boat and started paddling, I realised that the pressure I was applying was moving the kayak towards the fence. So I solved the problem by tethering the back of the boat to the back fence, and to keep the bow from dipping around, I secured it to the fence outside my kitchen window, and that really stabilised the whole contraption and gave me a lot more confidence to go for it. I honestly don't think it did any good for my forward paddling technique, but that wasn't really the point. I found it a pretty good workout. I trialled it out for about 15 minutes and I was pretty hot and sweaty by the end of that, so I think that was a pretty worthwhile experience. And there's a couple of other really good benefits that I got from it. It was 2 hours of productive activity, bit of creativity, rummaging around the house looking for the bits of rope and bungee, and then time spent figuring out how I was going to set it up in the garden. So really, I got a lot out the whole morning, and most importantly, from Kelly's perspective, it kept me out the house. So there you have it, the Kayak Essentials pulling power machine. Look forward to seeing everybody's photos and videos of your creations. Get out there and get building. I mean, it's not like you haven't got any time on your hands.